Welcome to the Red Beam Podcast, the New Orleans edition. This is your host, Mr. Toad.
And I'm Dr. Frog.
What are we going to be talking about, Doctor?
We're going to be talking about Byblos.
Byblos. I was kind of scared about saying that out loud. I was like, man, I don't know if I could say that word.
Well, I'm so used to saying bibliothèque as the library. I keep wanting to call it Byblos.
That's what I want to keep calling it.
But it's Byblos.
It's Byblos.
Byblos.
So that's like half the battle is pronouncing this place. But after that, man, is this place tasty or what?
It is wonderful. It's Mediterranean, Greek/Mediterranean food. And I liked it. They had a lot of natural light coming in because they had big windows. We went to the location in Elmwood. They have another location in Old Metairie, on Old Metairie Road. And they have a third location in Metairie on Veterans. But we went to the one in Elmwood. There was lots of natural light. We went sort of after work on a Friday, and it was pretty popular. It
was not completely packed, but it was getting close.
It was full. It was getting close. Well, we went earlier in the evening. If we'd come back at 7 or 8,
it might have been possible.
We might have had to wait for a seat. And I had a wonderful time there.
The waitress was really helpful, wasn't she?
She was. She had this. I got the feeling like if we were in kindergarten or something, and we didn't know what to order from the menu. She was just very patient. She was like, and and she was saying, well, this one's popular, and this is a really good way to start the meal. She had just wonderful suggestions. Was very patient with us. When I was making that comparison earlier, what I meant is she was just a very patient waitress, and we had some appetizers. We had these cheese fingers, these feta cheese fingers that had lots of different types of cheese in them, and I'm a sucker for cheese. So I had a great time with them, even if the crust around them was a little bit burnt. They sort of fried a roll of different types of cheese.
We'll show the image of it, but there's a little sauce underneath. It was like a honey sauce. It was
it wasn't honey. It was pepper. It wasn't pepper jack. It was a jelly pepper sauce.
Yeah, it was so good. It was so smooth and tasty, and it was kind of cool because you can kind of rip the thing in half and then put a little cheese, and then you put the little that little sauce in there, and it's just so
what
tasty.
I did is when you break it, I was able to sort of scoop up and have it go inside.
Yeah, the inside, and then you eat it.
And then you eat it, yeah. And
super gooey.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my gosh.
I had fun with that. And then we also had some bread. The first bread brought out was a little bit burnt with some oil, but we also had these amazing Brussels sprouts, which I guess they were pretty well known for. And they had these seared Brussels sprouts that were just... I'm a big Brussels sprout fan.
And they had some light cheese on it, too, as far as I can show here in the imagery.
It's some sort of cheese sauce.
Like a feta cheese or something.
It was decadent.
It was very smooth. It was very tasty.
Yeah.
Then afterwards, what was our main course? What did you have as your main course?
Well, first of all, we had this oil.
Yeah.
That could go along with the bread. I wasn't impressed with the first batch of bread that came out. It was kind of burnt and stale and crusty. But the next 4 pieces that came out with our meal were very fluffy and soft. I had the gyro platter, and I did a double side of hummus because I knew that I'd want that hummus with along with the tzatziki sauce to be on the inside of that. So it was nice gyro bread that I was making, and then it had the gyro meat, which is usually minced lamb that's packed together on a giant slab that's then shaved off. So I had these sort of shavings of what when I was living in Austria, they were, you could have doner kebabs, which is sort of shaved lamb off of that packed together pillar. And so I think they did the same sort of style. At least it tasted like it. But it was the closest thing I could get to when I was in Austria and they had that Turkish dish. And it was delicious.
I have to say, for me, I had the chicken shish kebab, and that was good.
Their chicken was great.
I gave you a little sample. It wasn't that juicy.
I love it. And, when I see half of it's blackened, I think, this is going to be kind of a burnt taste that overwhelms it. No, it brought out so much flavor, and it was perfectly cooked. It was so good.
I also had it with the rice as my side dish, because they did run out of French fries when we were there.
Oh, you ordered French fries, they ran out?
And they were like, no.
They're pretty popular.
Yeah, and I was like, man, that sold really quick. So I would advise for our listeners, if you are going there, try and get the French fries and let us know in the comment section what you think.
Or get there early. If you go to dinner, try to make it a 4:30, 5:30 kind of dinner instead of a 7 or 8 dinner.
Yeah, because then you might avoid the lane
on the fries.
Yeah, you might listen to the fries. But I will say this: the chicken was super delicious, very juicy, not burnt at all. The rice, it was like this mixed rice kind of thing. I loved it with the hummus. I started scoping the hummus with
had that oil,
the rice, and then you put on top of the bread, and you get a little piece of chicken on there. Oh, super tasty.
Goodness. And I think we both had leftovers, so I was able to enjoy that later in the evening.
I still have it in my refrigerator, actually.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
I'll be enjoying it tomorrow.
Making my mouth water just hearing about it.
But overall, I think this is a wonderful place. Who would you suggest this is for?
Well, I want to say this is, I think, is great for maybe even a first date.
Okay.
This is a sort of more mature setting. Wonderful Greek food. I was surprised that New Orleans had some Mediterranean options.
If you were taking like maybe a very important client of yours, would you take them there?
Yes, it's. I think Mediterranean food, especially if you have visitors from out of town or a business client that you're showing around town, you can't go wrong. They've got something there for everyone, I think. And the number of salad options in addition to it. One of my favorite parts of the meal, though, was the dessert.
Oh, my gosh.
I had
that alone.
The best key lime pie I've ever
eaten in my life, yeah.
In my life. They also had bread pudding as well as...
we didn't get a chance to eat that one, but I was thinking about it.
They do have a brand new baklava recipe as
well.
So I'll have to try that next time I go back there. But the key lime pie...
The key lime pie. That alone, we're going to do a separate score on the key lime pie from the actual restaurant.
Yes, it's definitely a separate
score. I give it a 10.
Oh, I'm giving it a 10 as well. It's the best key lime pie I've ever had. It has a very thin, flaky crust at the bottom. It's all made in-house. This isn't just someone opens up a refrigerator that they... bought a square of key lime pie from Rouse's down the street or Winn-Dixie, right? This is homemade, you can tell. The pie part, you can tell it was kind of whipped up. It was very fluffy and had some air kind of stirred into it.
Yeah.
And
it was moist. It was moist and smooth and airy.
Yeah, and it had this topping that was, of course... very whipped cream, like not just whipped cream, but like fluffy, airy whipped cream. But it also had fresh lime on top. It was
really refreshing. If you had like a really hot day and you're just coming to eat something nice and cool and sweet,
I could picture just going there for the dessert. Just go there, maybe have a refreshing drink and the dessert.
And just the dessert, yeah, that would be perfect. Yeah. So if you are a fan of key lime pie, we're both saying check this place out, right?
Oh, certainly. This is a must-go-to if you're a fan of key lime pie, and especially Mediterranean food. There's not very many options in New Orleans, but this is one of the good ones. I would say one downside is it's a little bit pricey.
It is pricey.
The entrees are usually $20 to $30 each, and the appetizers are usually $10 to $17 each.
So something maybe it's like a once a month.
Well, our bill on top of tip was about $100.
Yeah,
but it's one of those where if it's a special occasion, if it's something, it's something that you can rave about, long afterwards. So it really is a bit of an event.
So definitely, we're giving this a 10 out of 10 for the key lime pie.
For the key lime pie, yes. Our rating for the key lime pie, it's the best key lime pie I've ever had.
Exactly.
And thank you to our server for recommending it after going through the various options.
Because we're all sitting there like, I don't know, we want something sweet, but we're about to leave. Let's see.
It is delicious. And I would return just for the pie alone. But the rest of the stuff was
definitely admirable. Something to write home about, for sure.
Something to write home, yeah. Something where you could call a friend and say, hey, we should go here next time.
Yeah.
And then do a podcast on it.
So what would you give the rest of the rrestaurant?
The rest of the restaurant, it was definitely busy. The tables were a bit close together.
It felt a little cramped. A little cramped. You could probably elbow the stranger next to you. Yeah. I could almost hear their conversation, but I was too busy.
I certainly could. Yeah, our conversation was very good, I think. And it was a bit noisy. There was a TV near us, which I'm not a big fan of TVs in the dining area. There's a bar area as well. They also have outside seating and a little cabana outside where you can sit shielded from the shade and watch TV and do that. It was a bit hot outside, so we didn't do that. A bit muggy.
Yeah, it was a little too... But on a colder day, this would be
amazing, yeah. And maybe if it's a Tuesday or middle of the week where it's less crowded. We went there on a
Friday night, yeah.
Yeah, it was... it was either a Friday or Thursday. I can't remember. I think it was a Friday.
It was a Friday.
It was a Friday, yeah.
It was Friday.
And this was just fantastic. I'm going to give the restaurant itself a 9.
Okay.
And I was debating between 9.5 or 9. But there's just a lot of factors that go into that, and I think it really is excellent food.
I think for me, I'm going to give this an 8.5. And the reason I give this 8.5 is I've had hummus in other places just as good, but maybe a little less expensive.
Oh, so I didn't even look at the price of the sides.
I'm just saying from our audience perspective.
A side is what, $8 to $10 probably.
Yeah.
Well, the appetizers were maybe 14 to 17.
Yeah.
So you're right. It was a good hummus, but it
was a little pricey maybe. So someone's
lentils need to be $10.
Yeah.
Handfuls of lentils, even if you mash them yourself.
Got a nickel and dime them when we can.
Well, yeah. So the price for me is what gave it the 9 instead of 9.5.
Yeah. Overall, I think this is definitely a recommend for us to eat.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if I went back several times.
Definitely for the key lime pie.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'd have to order that even if I try the baklava and some other things.
So definitely we're recommending for our audience, if you want some really good key lime pie, you know where to go.
And some great Mediterranean food, a great Mediterranean food option in a city that's... New Orleans, it's a little bit insular with its culture, You got to do the
seafood.
You got to do the crawfish boil a certain way.
Broil.
You got to have the oysters a certain kind of way.
Yep.
And so it's nice when you see different kind of food chains pop up, whether it's Mediterranean or Indian or Chinese.
Yeah.
And so I'm always there I love the diversity in food. In our area.
I would say the other thing that gets me is the quality of food is out of sight.
It is excellent quality. And it is definitely a place that I would, take people for business meetings.
Something professional.
This could be a really good happy hour spot after you're done working.
Yeah.
It's close to some businesses. And
sure.
So you could swing over there.
It's not that far from Guitar Center.
Well, I don't know where that came from. Yeah, after you go to Guitar Center, you
much of the equipment that I'm using this show for is actually from that place, the Guitar Center next to Byblos.
I was thinking, maybe our viewers wouldn't mind. I have a pretty good bass guitar. You have a guitar too.
I know. We have to do a jam session one day.
We're gonna have to do some outro jamming.
We're gonna have to redo our intro. Hopefully, we'll keep the same beat and sound. But we have to have. But for any of our listeners who think this is a good idea, please put a like and subscribe.
Authentic local New Orleans music as an outro.
Well, we're not putting that speedy kind of music. I kind of like a jazz.
You don't like the muzak, is what they call it. That's the muzak is the name of what the corporate tones that make up.
There's like 2 or 3 guys that basically write all the songs.
Elevator music, basically.
Did you hear about that? Like, there's only 2 or 3 guys now who basically write all the top 10 songs now. There's like a few. There's not that many. There's like a few guys, and they're songwriters, and they basically write all the top 10, 20.
And they're all called Sir Paul McCartney. Anyway.
But overall, we're definitely saying this is a good recommend.
Certainly. Yeah.
We're also suggesting that check it out, and please let us know. How are the French fries? We didn't get to eat them because they didn't have them available.
Maybe this is just like our Wendy's and Burger King's experiment with the Taylor ice cream making machine for their smoothies. They're always out. Maybe we can do another test. Go back to Byblos every day and see if they can do their French fries. Either that, or we also keep stopping by a McDonald's and say, "Hey, is your ice cream machine still working, or is it not working?" Well, I think it's Wednesday. They said that the Taylor people came around. They came in and fixed it or something. Yeah. So if we bug them every day until the repair guy goes, that'd be annoying. Yeah, that'd be a little annoying. Yeah, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna pester them. But we are gonna go to Byblos, check out those fries. That's right. So if you
I would ultimately say this has been a great interview, a great review of this restaurant. Definitely check it out. And if you can, please share our show with one of your friends that might, if you think they're going to be interested in food reviews, anime, movies. We have it all here. And we would definitely like you to like and subscribe. And I hope you have a wonderful day.
Yeah, it's a wonderful call to action at the end. Share with your friend. Maybe stuff your face with some of the places we're talking about. Enjoy some New Orleans food. Let us know in the comments if you're visiting New Orleans or if you visited any of these places.
That's right. And that'll make for our show. You have a wonderful day.
Take care.